Okay, so yesterday we looked at solving for missing angles using the tangent ratio. Today we're going to look at finding side lengths, just like it says right here. Determine the side length opposite a given angle. So at this point, all we do know is the tangent ratio of the three ratios that we're going to be looking at. So like I said in class, the first thing we do is write down our acronym. And as I mentioned before, this is going to help us remember the three different trig ratios. Those three trig ratios being sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. So let's have a look at where we're at. It says determine the length of xy. On our triangle, xy is this side length right here, xy. Okay. So the first thing we have done, our first thing is our ratio, our acronym for our ratios. Second thing is we need to look at a triangle and label our triangle. Label our triangle with reference to the angle that we're given. Well, we're only given the 70-degree angle. We look at this. This would be the opposite side, and this would be the adjacent side. Opposite because it's opposite the angle we're talking about. Adjacent because it's beside the angle we're talking about. And as always, this one here across from the 90-degree angle, or our longest side, would be the hypotenuse. Okay. So, determine the length of xy. So we've got our acronym, we have our triangle labeled. Next thing we need to do is formula. We know what the formula is. It's the only formula we know at this point. Tangent of an angle, theta, is equal to opposite over adjacent. Formula. Now we substitute. Well, yesterday when we substituted, all we ended up having was these two numbers. Were these two numbers, the opposite and the adjacent? Well, today you're going to see that once we substitute, our angle now is one of our substitutions. Our opposite side, xy, that's what we're looking for, xy over my adjacent side, which is 5. Well, now what do we do? Well, let's have a look. On our handy-dandy calculator, if we simply punch in tangent of 70 degrees, or on some calculators, you do have to put in the 70 degrees first, tangent 70 degrees, you should end up with, just make sure, 2.747477477419 equal to xy, our side length, xy over 5. Well, now what? We need this xy by itself. This is what we're looking for. This is what we're trying to solve for. So how do I get rid of that 5? I multiply by 5. This is xy divided by 5. So in solving equations, we multiply, or in this case, we do the opposite of divide. So we multiply by 5. Because I multiply on the right-hand side, I multiply on the left-hand side. Okay. Oops. These will cancel, leaving me with just xy. That's what I want. These, when I multiply, I get 13.7373871. And of course, rounded to, because it doesn't specify 2 decimal places, 13.74. And units would be the same units as our adjacent side, centimeters. Example 1, section 2.2.